So the news is here that RDJ is doomed, and it is getting quite mixed reception on the internet and Twitter. On Twitter, I'd have to say most of it has been negative. At least everything I've gone like, they're just mocking this thing as really just creatively bankrupt, really stupid and kind of shallow. It's interesting that the YouTubers, even YouTubers who don't like one another, are decidedly more positive. Now let's deal with John Campea first, who thinks this is good because hey, the MCU has always done this, kind of lying to your face about the comic books.
When they do it, no, it's not desperate. It's genius. It's genius. Now, when we talked about the possibility of Robert Downey Jr. playing Doctor Doom last week, I said two things. Number one.
So John Campea's reasoning is, guys, they've never followed the comics. They've never followed the comics. It's not accurate to the comics. What's the big deals? And I will give him this. He was a little critical. He said the Thunderbolts presentation wasn't that good. The Captain America thing with Black Captain America, he says, that wasn't that impressive either. So he was a little critical, but he's going heads over heels. Guys, it's RDJ. It's Oppenheimer. The time is now. The MCU is coming back. It could work. It could really work. Yeah, John, many things could work. Doesn't mean they should work or even will work, but there you go. So John was decidedly, very positive because, he gets money from the corporations. So he's like, I'm just seeing the money. Oh man, this could make a whole lot of monies. Yeah, maybe it will, but there we are. But then I found it even more interesting. Jeremiah, he was not positive, but he's like, God, I don't know. I'm gonna say I don't cares. But then he clearly does care about Hollywood, despite his stoic stance.
And I totally understand that. And if people are upset about Endgame, that's good. I liked Endgame. It wasn't Infinity War, but I enjoyed Endgame with all of its flaws. I thought it was a great ending, and it kind of tied a pretty nice bow up for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Since then, Marvel has been
So that's his line, that, God, Infinity War, Endgame were good. We got my Tony Stark. It was beautiful. We were all united. But Marvel has destroyed itself. Now, this is a short video. He didn't explain how Marvel destroyed itself. It just did. And simultaneously, wait for this. And which is true, I did see this video, so he was positive. He actually liked Deadpool and Wolverine, which is now going to be set. It literally is already record-breaking. This is just its first week. So by the end of the second weekend, unless there's a complete catastrophe the second weekend, it's going to go down in history as one of the biggest hits of all time. So how could Marvel be destroying itself if it's also making tons of money? How do you explain that one? But anyway, so he says, I'm just a truth-telling. I like my Deadpool and Wolverine, but I will not be fooled by the Disney.
I wish that I cared, but I don't. And that's exactly what I tweeted out. I wish I cared, but I don't. I love Robert Downey Jr., though. This feels like desperation on Marvel's part.
Well, that's all well and good, Jeremy, except Ethan went in the time machine and pulled back a video he tried to get rid of, where with Zack Snyder and Justice League, he tried to do the same thing, saying, God, I don't really care about the Justice League, but I'm positive about the fandoms. But Zack and the Hollywood is trying to victimize me. And that's not what the tape shows. It shows him being, as usual, a whiny little bitch, as he usually is.
Damn is easy, okay? And this was not an easy night, but it was a necessary night. And how we respond as
it wasn't necessary, Jeremy. You walked into a buzzsaw.
Future trajectory.
You let your ego blow up, and you believed that Zack Snyder would associate with you guys.
In the beginning of the stream, when there were a lot,
you wanted that clout, and it blew up in your face.
In terms of what happened tonight, the night was supposed to be Jeremy taking a step back.
Jeremy
to not make it about Jeremy.
You're talking about yourself in third person, guy. Come on now.
In turn, it became all about Jeremy.
No, it didn't.
No, I don't agree with the EVS interpretation of these events, because I remember this very well. I've tried to find little bits and pieces of it. So good on EVS for keeping this piece of history, because Jeremy has been trying to revise the record about what happened with him and Zach. It's really not that hard. Zach just said formally he's not affiliated with Geeks and Gamers. That is it. If he meant anything subtextual, he has not clarified. And apparently Warner Brothers was forcing him to do this with good reason, because, you know, Jeremy's pretty extreme, which he's shown himself to be. Now, I think Warner Brothers was frankly just trying to put Zach in a bad position. Really, Geeks and Gamers was, I think, not a big part of this. They were just being used to sort of test Zach, and they just don't like Zach at WB. Don't know why, they just don't. But of course, Jeremiah had to make it all about himself. I can't believe this. Why'd Hollywood destroying me? I'm good. I'm Jeremiah. All I care about is the fandoms. I really do. And his latest trick is to hook up with Eric July, who has been gouging, and I mean gouging the fans. I mean, I just saw a thing where he's trying to sell ISOM, whatever the thing is, the Bible man he's trying to sell, for $100 per issue. Yeah, $100 per issue. And put aside the price is the quality. I mean, people have just gone to town showing continuity errors, editing errors, errors in the artwork. He's just using a lot of 3D assets. It's just an insane mess. And Jeremy's defending Eric July. So no, he doesn't care about the fandom. And I don't think he cares about Marvel or the MCU. He doesn't read comics. He's just a pretender. But I just find it hilarious how years later, he's still trying to sell, God, I'm the victim in all this. I'm Jeremiah. Why don't people care about me? I don't know, Jeremy. I don't know. But I do agree this is a very iffy decision. Maybe it will work. I mean, RDJ is very talented, but I don't know. It's just very strange. So I'm not indifferent to the MCU. I think Deadpool and Wolverine actually do give us hope. A huge part of the universe will be fun and pretty interesting. But yeah, a big part of Marvel is definitely gotten very lazy and very corporate. Kind of like John Campea and Geeks and Gamers. They're both all getting very lazy and very corporate.
Handle it like an absolute champ. And it's funny because some people got baited into this page that's not in the book. And they, oh, well, she can't, this looks terrible, yada, yada, yada. And there was, they thought that this page, I think they was trying to, they got it from a story. I don't know where they got it from. I think it was their Instagram. And one